Proud to be joined in the D11 Sports Studios by Bryan Geist, the Colonial League president, also the Northern Lehigh athletic director, and he's joining us right now via his home. Obviously, everyone's inside right now, and Bryan, you are one of those guys that are inside, and it's tough to be inside, not only for me, but for you, for everyone else. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Al. Even though I'm inside, but I'm actually outside, enjoying where I live out here in the country, out in the sticks. So it actually works out. Can be outside and enjoy this beautiful weather.
So everything that's going on, and everything's on a standstill, and everyone's talking about the coronavirus, COVID-19, and everything. As first, as an athletic director, how are you going about your everyday and not knowing what's going on?
Well, I'm a planner, and I like to have a lot of different options. This is just sad for everybody involved, the people that are ill, this entire virus, all the kids that are looking to get back to school. And I know education is number one, but my job is athletics, and as Colonial League president, we have to look out for the Colonial League and sports in that aspect. So we have multiple plans ready to go. We don't have exact details, but we have a lot of plans if things come to fruition and we actually get a spring sports season.
So, talking about some of those plans and where you're at right now with Governor Wolf really shutting everything down until April 7th, and you really can't do anything on a standstill. Where does that set you guys as a timetable? And is it kind of a wait and see? Hey, if you get in April 7th, you need a week to, practice, or, if it's after Easter, do you need a week to practice and get back in, kind of a modified schedule? Take us through kind of some scenarios, which, again, they're all scenarios at this point.
Yeah. Thanks, Al. Unfortunately, we can't do anything until PIAA makes a decision in regards to spring sports, whether they're going to be played in full, whether they're going to be abbreviated season, or they're not going to be played at all. And PIAA, in regards to their statement that they published on Monday, they're waiting for Governor Wolf and the Pennsylvania Department of Ed to give direction on the spring academic schedule as well as the educational setting. So, with that being said, we have to wait for guidance from our governing body, which is PIAA. And with those particular scenarios, really, it's very simple. There's three possible scenarios. One, we could have a full season. Two, we could have no season. Or three, we could have an abbreviated season. Well, to have a full season, PIAA would have to give direction to all of our schools saying that they are going to be moving state championships, moving those particular championship dates around and moving them back. So that would allow us to get a full season in. Second thing is, if there's no season, that's pretty simple. We just cancel all of our events. The third season would be scenario would be an abbreviated season. And in that case, if we have an abbreviated season, we're looking at all different types of scenarios with all of our different sports, possibly super sites, double headers. We do have more daylight, so we could possibly play maybe shortened games, double headers in that aspect. Track, we're fortunate in the Colonial League to have 3 8-lane tracks, so we could have super sites like Bangor area, Palisades, as well as Palmerton area. We'd be able to put 4 teams at a site. We could run an abbreviated season, and then we would have to adapt our league meet and our district meet according to PIAA. So we don't know in that aspect. And I don't want to give any false hope. I don't want to give any information because I don't have that information in regards to PIAA. So I can tell you that the Colonial League athletic directors, we have been talking, the officers, the executive council, we have talked and we've sent out guidance to them in regards to that. We're a wait and see and see how things go from there.
Not feeling well? Need to see a doctor now? St. Luke's Video Visits 24/7. Download the St. Luke's mobile app from the App Store or Google Play Store.
Now, there was an article recently or a story recently, from Harrisburg about districts individually deciding after Governor Wolf gets this April 7th. What does it exactly mean? And even let's start with Northern Lehigh. Are you guys doing cyber schooling? Is that starting? Has that started? Will that start on Monday? And is that basically within each district or each school district, across the state?
Well, I can tell you, Northern Lehigh is way ahead of the curve. You've heard a lot about curves these last couple of weeks, but I can tell you Northern Lehigh is way ahead of it. They initiated a 1-to-1, which means a laptop for every student. So educationally, from administration standpoint, the Northern Lehigh teachers have been on board with different things like Google Classroom, Canvas, and a bunch of other type of platforms in which they're able to communicate with students. So that initially has been going forth in regards to an enrichment style program. And I believe the state of Pennsylvania Department of Ed has just put something out to allow school districts to grade or keep instruction moving forward. So the one part in that aspect is schools do not have to meet. Governor Wolf just signed this yesterday. School districts may shut down their brick and mortar schools for the remainder of the school year. They do not have that requirement. It will not harm any of their state funding. So with that, a lot of the instruction can happen from home. However, from ABC 27 in Harrisburg, they're allowing school districts to make that decision whether they are going to close down for the school year or return. I don't know what that model is going to look like, and as you stated, there's well over 500 school districts, and if each school district's going to make that decision, that makes the Colonial League's decision a little bit tougher. I don't know exactly how that'll work. If we have a majority of Colonial League schools, and we have 13 schools, and 11 of those are in Lehigh and Northampton counties, which are currently on a stay-at-home order from the governor, and I don't know if that's going to continue to stay in that, or that's going to be relaxed, or anything more stringent than that. So you have Palmerton's in Carbon County, and you have Palisades, which is in Bucks County. Those counties may have different ideas and move forward. So I don't even know if we can have a hybrid model as a league, since most of our schools are in Lehigh and Northampton counties. So that is going to be challenging for each independent athletic director. As such, Kyle Parembo at Palmerton may have to go out and get contests if Palmerton is currently. So it's hard to say. We don't have any idea at this point in regards to what that's going to.
Well, Bryan, I see you're breaking up just a little bit, but as we're talking about this, and all right, we got you back. As we're talking about this, and we keep saying, the wait and see, the curve, the not knowing, and we're just here in the Lehigh Valley. Then you get Pennsylvania, then you get the other parts of the states, and then you across the country. This pandemic is unbelievable, and I've known you for a long, long time, and I know you're going to answer the way I expect you to answer. This is something that no one has seen before, but even if no one has seen it before, it's something that no one can imagine really in 8 days what has happened to us, and what could happen in the next 8 days. We could be playing in 2 weeks, we could not be playing in 3 months. So it's a crazy part of where we are, and everyone's trying to do the same kind of thing. And I applaud you not only as the Northern Lehigh athletic director, all the athletic directors there, across the state and really across the country, but even as the Colonial League president, you have to be ready. But at the same time, while you're ready, you don't know what to be ready for.
That Al, you nailed it on the head. Like we're ready for all different types of scenarios, except for the one that says that maybe 2 of our schools go back and the other 11 don't, or 7 of them go back. Those are very difficult scenarios and hard to plan. So I wish I could give further information in regards to that, but again, we're on hold until we get further direction from PIAA, and PIAA has stated that they are still on a postponement in regards to their basketball and swim championship. So that's very hopeful. And I try to be optimistic and look at the positive sides, where I know there are some people out there say you shut it down. I think at this point it's way too early to make that call. And again, if PIAA moves their state championships back to the end of June, we could easily get a full season after the Easter break. But I don't have that information. I don't know what their facility issues are. With Penn State usually holding baseball and softball and track and field normally being in Shippensburg, I don't know what those parameters are with those particular sports and those facilities. So those are some things that I'm just not aware of. And I know from an aspect when we run district track or conference track and field championships, there's a lot that goes into those facilities in regards to people who put that together.
Not feeling well? Need to see a doctor now? St. Luke's video visits 24/7. Download the St. Luke's mobile app from the App Store or Google Play Store.
Is there a scenario in place? And my guess is you guys meeting every day, there's 30 scenarios, but is there a scenario in place where you don't play in the state, you don't play in the district, and even if you can't play in the Colonial League, but you can get 5 games in or 6 games in and just get the kids out there one last time, is that something that's definitely talked about as well?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. If the state decides to shut everything down in regards to state championships, and then they give us direction and say, hey, as a conference or an independent school, you're welcome to play games, but we're going to allow that to be a local decision. Sure, that's been talked about. And again, there are so many different scenarios. I mean, I've lived as an educator all the different things that went along with Columbine, with evacuations, lived through Superstorm Sandy, in regards to power outages, all types of weather challenges when we missed weeks of school in regards to snow and all those different challenges that we've had to deal with. But this is something that is completely different that has never been seen before. So we're in a tough spot at this point, and unfortunately we're in a holding pattern until we get further direction from, again, PIAA, Pennsylvania Department of Ed, Governor Wolf, and our own home school district.
Well, I leave you with this, and sometimes we joke around, and you're like, oh, you got to be in the same room with certain athletic directors. Oh man, it's crazy, whatever. Or certain students or certain administrators. But you know what? I think as we look at all this, you really put it in perspective that we need all that as a society. We need to be around people, and sometimes you take it for granted. For anything, if we're looking at this, I think we become better by this, by learning that, we had everything, and it kind of pulled us away for a few weeks, or hopefully only a few weeks and not months, but we realize what we have and what we will have in the future.
Yeah, we really have to count our blessings as a society and the ability that we have in this country to be free and to make those choices. And actually, there's times where I get a chance to go out and take some hikes in this beautiful area and then enjoy that time and just enjoy time with my family and friends. So, those are some things that are hard, especially if you're in Lehigh, Northampton counties right now. You can only really go to the grocery store or to the pharmacy and some other select places that are essential. So, yeah, at this point, I'd rather be with some of those annoying people. But moreover, there's a lot of great people out there, especially in District 11. A lot of my colleagues are awesome to work with, and I miss getting together with them as well as my colleagues at Northern Lehigh and just missing administration and staff there. It's tough. It's not the same thing talking over a computer or over a phone. And I think everybody gets that at this point. I'd rather be able to be in person and share a laugh and a story in that aspect.
Yeah, no question about it. Bryan, as always, I appreciate you joining us. We're trying to do something different here at D11sports.com and, trying to get the community involved best we can. And I guess our space, I'm in Northwestern School District, you're in Northern Lehigh, so we're not that far apart, but it would be nice if I was holding a microphone to you instead of being, via a call like that. But thanks for taking the time and really, letting our fans kind of get an idea of what they can and cannot expect, down the road.
Yes. Thanks, Al. Go Dogs.
All right, that's Bryan Geist, the athletic director at Northern Lehigh, and also the Colonial League president joining us here at D11sports.com. More interviews to follow in the coming days. Have a great day.
Not feeling well? Need to see a doctor now? St. Luke's video visits 24/7. Download the St. Luke's mobile app from the App Store or Google Play Store.